At the end of the day, if you are unhappy with yourself, changing your weight and your size isn't going to change that. I'm hooked in a non-addicted way. I gave this a real hot crack because we're kind of cancelling the diet. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. I am doing your favorite kind of video. It is a combination of a diet update plus a little bit of food. It was going to be a full day of eating, but I've already eaten breakfast. So I'm going to show you the rest of the day. Breakfast was pretty... Actually, you know what? I have a picture of my breakfast on my phone because I posted it on my Instagram. I had my usual oats with peanut butter and strawberries, and then I had something a little bit different. I had some egg whites, some salmon, some scrambled vegetables, and some avocado. So that was breakfast, that was meal one. And the cals, including 2 coffees. So I'm having still decaf life for life. But I had, that was 565 calories, and it was 35 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and 68 grams of carbs. So that includes the 2 oat milk coffees. I've also been loving matcha. So I've got a matcha powder that I got from Tropika, and I've been having that with the milk. So what I do is you put the powder in a cup. Well, this is how I do it. I add boiling water, like a little bit of boiling water, and stir it. And then I put in the frothed, because you guys know I love my froth, the frothed oat milk on top. So that is also a mood. That actually does have more caffeine in it than a decaf coffee, so you just have to be mindful. Let me just drink my concoction of powders that my naturopath has given me. Okay, where were we? I haven't done a diet update in a very long time. Not because I fell off the wagon or anything like that. As I mentioned in the previous video, I've just been so freaking busy with business and life. I don't know what I'm doing here. I feel funny, which is good because I'm in a good mood for filming, because the last week I've not wanted to film for a multitude of reasons. Stress, business things, my skin being a piece of shit. Anyway, so I have made the executive decision to pause dieting. I'm pausing for cheering. I've already tried to sit down and film this video once before, which you can see snippets of in my last video where I just had a bit of a meltdown and cried. So the fact that I've got applause is a good thing, because I have this whole failure, success, failure complex thing going on, that when I set a goal, I have to achieve it. And if I don't achieve it, then I've failed. And that's, that's a thing in itself that I'm going to be dealing with. But the state that my body is in with stress and my skin and the difficulty to actually lose weight when I know I have been able to do this so much easier in the past, they're all signs. They're all telling me something. And I know, not that I want to give this any attention, because I don't base my decisions on what other people say. But I know so many people have commented you shouldn't be dieting, it's unhealthy, you're unhealthy, blah, blah, blah. Look, we all have different definitions of the word healthy. And dieting puts a stress on your body. But for some people, they will be healthier if they lose a bit of weight, in terms of things like heart disease and overall health that would fall under the health terminology of the medical profession. And then there are people who have really low confidence and feel if they lost a couple of kilos, they would feel more confident in themselves and their mindset would be in a healthier place. Other people would argue that you shouldn't have to lose weight to be confident. So there's, everyone has different definitions. The reason I was dieting is because I feel a little bit more confident when I'm a little bit leaner. Doesn't mean I don't feel confident or hate my body where it's at. I just feel a bit better when I'm a bit leaner and my clothes fit me. So all the clothes that I have, I'm buying sizes up, and I'm this is annoying. I have so many clothes I'm not using. And my business is based on health and fitness, and I put that pressure on myself to look a certain way. I feel I always have to have abs. That's me putting that pressure on myself, but it is something that it plays on my mind a bit. Basically, I was looking at everything I was doing, and like what my body was telling me was that there is a time for dieting and there's a time for not dieting. I gave this a real hot crack. I tried all of the tools under the sun. I tried higher calories, lower calories. I did that period of like fuck all calories for 3 days. I introduced HIIT, I introduced cardio, I dropped back volume, I added volume, I had diet breaks, I had refeeds, I played with my macros, I did high fat, low carb, I did moderate macros. I literally did everything. These are all the things that I would be telling a client to do too. These are the things that you can control. So you can control what tools you use. What you can't control, or what you have less control over, is your environment. So for a lot of people with being in isolation, there's added levels of stress for a multitude of reasons. Work, financial, relationships, being at home, being separated from people, being alone, being lonely, not having enough alone time, being around your family, not having your own space, being stuck inside and maybe places that you're not happy. Like there's so many things going on with that. So I know a lot of people are talking about like ISO weight, and there's a lot of weight gain because we're less active, we're not going out as much, we're inside. Like for example, I haven't left the house today and I'm sitting on, well, it's not bad, but like, you know, 1,100 steps, and I usually get 10,000. I'll go for a walk and get my steps, but we're a lot less active, so we're burning less energy. So a lot of us are bored eating and emotional eating, and there's just, it is a very difficult environment for fat loss. That's kind of the physical environment. Then there's the environment, the external and internal environments for things like stress and inflammation, and my body is under so much stress at the moment, with compounding stress that's added from having my own business and having that business growing and having to expand my processes and my teams, and it's constantly on my mind. So I'm literally never getting a break from it, and this is not me complaining, this is just me saying that this is the environment that my body is in at the moment. So stress plays a huge astronomical role for some people on body composition and their ability to achieve their goals. Had I continued down this path, I definitely would have achieved it. Like I was still losing weight just so slowly, my body was still changing just so slowly, and it was just really difficult to achieve the results I know I can achieve doing less when my environment is better, if that makes sense. So the results are achievable, but I don't want to not enjoy the process. And whilst I know dieting is kind of like, do you actually enjoy the process of like starving yourself and being hungry? Like that's not the fun parts. The fun part is like seeing the work you put in and getting the results quicker and in a more timely manner. So I know I can do that. So why am I kind of pushing myself to do this when it's just not the right time? My body's telling me that, and it took me a while to hear it because I am a stubborn person. When I have a goal, I really dig my heels in and do everything I can to achieve it. And yeah, it was just getting to the point where I was like, wow, I feel really run down. I'm so tired. I'm really frustrated by how slow these results are. And I've been going for 4 months and haven't seen big changes. Last time I did a 4-month diet, I was basically stage lean. Like, how crazy is that? The moral of the story is you're not a bad person if you want to diet, and you're not a bad person if you decide to end that diet. You are your own ship captain. You're the boss. You get to make the decisions for yourself and what feels right for you and what the best decision for you and your body, your health, physical, mind, emotional, everything is. And I've made the call to pause the diet. I will be going back into a dieting phase at some point because I still want to change my body composition and lose a few kilos that I've put on and fit into my clothes and all those things and feel confident doing like the photo shoots and stuff. I'm still going to be doing them. I'll just be like a little less confident doing them. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So many people have asked, what happens when you finish the diet? Will you be reverse dieting? Are you going to be sharing that? And the answer is yes. So how cool is that? Like, I was planning on dieting for longer until I achieved my goal, and a lot of people have probably achieved their goals already and want to know what next, and we're kind of waiting for me to finish to reverse diet and document this. So now I'm able to document basically like what you do after a diet, because I'm still going to be doing exactly that, like building my calories back up and reverse dieting. So step 1 is to jump straight back to maintenance calories. Now, there's a lot of people who ask how you figure these out, and I have previously posted an equation which isn't gospel. It's just like a rough equation that you can use in an old video. I'll try and find it and link it below if I can find the video, but if not, I'll just put the equation down there. But remember, it's not like 100%, because you might do it and be like, what, that seems really wrong. To be honest, a lot of people think we experience like extreme metabolic downregulation, and the truth is that we don't really experience massive amounts. So it is determined by like how long you've been in that diet for and how aggressive it was. So for me, I'm going back to 1700 calories, and this is more from like a trial and error perspective, because when I was doing the diet breaks, I was going back to like that 1700 calorie mark and managing to maintain there. So that is an indication to me that that's where my maintenance calories are sitting, and the next part of this process is just going to be building on those calories if I can. So a lot of people ask, like, can you build your calories up? So we can, to a certain extent. Like, obviously we are kind of given the calories we're given that we maintain at, and they can go down and they can go up, but not really by heaps. The factors that really determine that is how active you are. Like, someone might be such an active person in terms of their NEAT and how many steps they're getting. Therefore, they're burning more energy, so they can consume more energy and level out at a higher calorie number. Whereas for someone who's more sedentary, doesn't move that much, then you're not going to be able to match that person's intake, because you're not moving as much, you're not burning as much. So I think there's this perception that reverse dieting is this like magic thing that you can do to boost your metabolism so that you can eat more food. It's more so something that you do after you've finished dieting to bring your down-regulated maintenance calories back up to, I suppose, your starting point maintenance calories before you dieted, before you experienced the down-regulation. So say I've been dieting on 1500 calories, I'm jumping back to my estimated maintenance, which is 1700. Keep in mind, my maintenance calories were already quite low to begin with. So I know I'm only adding in another 200 calories. That's not because I'm like, I've experienced extreme down regulation. I wasn't even on like, I was on aggressive calories to begin with, but then I kind of already did a bit of a reverse from them. So I was on like 1200 for quite a while, and yeah, I brought them back to 1500 and didn't gain. I was continuing to lose, and that can happen when you're a really stressed person. You hold on to the weight, like inflammation and water weight, when the calories are so low, because your body's like, oh, I'm so stressed and freaking out. So when you give it more food, it kind of like relaxes and releases, and functions start to move a bit more. Blah, I'm blabbing, but I'm going back to 1700 calories. For most people, I would say, like, depending on how aggressive, take away like 200 or 300 calories from your maintenance, depending. Like, that's such a broad thing to say, because someone might have started on 2000 and they've only taken out 200 calories for their diet. You're not just going to add like 200 calories back, you might add 100 back. But if you've taken 500 out for your deficit and continue to take calories out, you might just add in like 200, 300 calories, and that could be accurate. But the best way to do it is kind of guess and add in more calories, and keep weighing yourself to see the changes on the scale. So on that note, you will see the scale go up just because you are consuming more food, takes up more room in your belly, in your body. You're probably going to be adding in more carbs, so they retain more water per gram compared to the other macronutrients. So that's going to take up more on the scale. You might feel a bit watery and bloated and stuff, again, just because there's more food, you're digesting more food, and your body's not used to having that much food in it after a diet. But it will level out. You just need to give it time, like a few weeks. So keep weighing yourself. The most important things are to maintain your activity, so keep your steps up. Even for me, if I'm gonna miss a training session, which doesn't happen really ever unless I'm super stressed with work, which I have been, I still make sure I get my steps every single day. So I try to maintain that activity level. Keep your activity levels up, keep your training up, keep tracking your food. So whenever I have clients and whenever I go into my own like serious kind of dieting phase, I always say, let's weigh ourselves daily, take the average. That's going to give us a really good indication of how we're tracking. I have since like stopped weighing myself recently because I got my period and I was so bloated and watery. I had like endometriosis, cramps and pains and bloating, and I just felt so yuck. And I was like, weighing myself isn't gonna tell me anything I don't already know. Like, I'm sticking to my process, I'm sticking to the calories, so I don't need a scale weight to tell me I'm like a kilo heavier because of all this water inflammation and just make me feel shit about myself. So not weighing myself has been like a really nice mental break for me. And I think, yeah, you don't have to weigh yourself. It is just, if you're doing like a diet and you're like, cool, I've got this diet, I've got this goal, let's do it, let's go in and weigh ourselves every day just so we know the process is working, we know we're in a deficit, and then it'll tell you if that's working. But if you're like going off plan and stuff and you're watering, you're fluctuating, the scale just makes you feel really shit about the food you're eating, the choices you're making, then it's probably not worth it for your mental health. But if you're following your process as well, you know you're following your process, so that's fine. When you finish a diet, you are at like a bit of a sensitive state because you are in a position to gain more body fat back quite quickly if you overeat your calories because you've been on lower calories, or your signals and cues are off, like your body's telling you to eat because you're so hungry because you've been dieting. The goal of weight loss is gone, so you can easily be like, oh well, what's the point in sticking to my calories? Like, I don't have this goal of losing weight anymore, I may as well eat whatever I want. And like, yeah, do that if you want, but it can put you in like a weight gain position, which can bring, like, keep your calorie set point, like your maintenance set point down. So it is quite an important phase, the diet after the diet, something I'm very passionate about because I have personally rebounded and it was like horrible mentally, just really hard, and then physically really hard to go back into dieting and starting on lower calories and everything. So it is important to slowly and gradually build your calories up, continue to get your food from whole foods and really good nutrient dense food sources and protein, keep training hard, monitoring how you're going, and that's why weighing yourself does help with the reverse diet, because you can see how much you're gaining weight by, because you will gain weight, but the goal is to just mitigate how much you're gaining and make sure it's more like weight, not fat. The way you mitigate that is getting enough protein, training hard in the gym, building your muscle and keeping active, and slowly building your calories back up. So it could be anything from like an extra 100 to 200 calories every 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. Just, it all depends. But I will show you guys how I'm tracking all of that and how that process is going. Right now I'm on 1700 calories. I'm on around 120 to 130 grams of protein, and my fats and carbs are just basically whatever I feel like. So with that being said, let's jump into lunch. I'll show you what I'm having for lunch. Snack, dinner, dessert. Yay. So I'm having lunch and I'm trying to figure out what I want to eat. I'm feeling overwhelmed. So usually when I think about creating any kind of meal, I break down what I want the protein to be. So first I'll choose the protein. Usually my protein sources will be like beef mince, kangaroo sausages, chicken, fish, so like barramundi, salmon, prawns, turkey mince, egg whites, but that's more breakfast, and the egg white pancake that I make for dessert. And then from there I'll move into what carb sources I want. So that might be, do I want to have potatoes? And if so, am I going to boil them or am I going to have them as chips? If I'm going to have them as chips, I usually am like it's like a lighter meal, because even though carbs feel like they make you fuller and take up more room volume wise, when you air fry them, they're like little crispy airy things. Not sweet potato because that triggers me. Rice, pumpkin, wraps. I've been loving this Turkish flatbread at the moment, but I'm all out of it, so I can't show you guys. It was a gluten-free one, it was a winner. And then I always have vegetables with pretty much whatever I have. And then fats. So do I want to have avocado? Do I want to have olives, olive oil, coconut oil, nuts? They're basically the fats that I like to play with. Oh, and carbs, another carb one is pasta. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, do I want to have like more of, like I had my salmon and my egg whites for breakfast. Do I want to have like a white protein or a red protein? It's like, I'm so overwhelmed by choice. This is what happens when I eat more food. I get like, I overanalyze and I'm just like, what do I actually feel like? So yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. And I also got so distracted with work. It's 3 o'clock, so I haven't had a snack and I haven't had my lunch. But I will show you for the purpose of this vlog what I'll be snacking on. I think I'm gonna have a bowl of oats. So maybe the oats will be my carbs and I'll just have like some meat and veg to go on the side. Or maybe the oats could be my snack. Oh my god, I don't know. All right, so I decided on kangaroo with vegetables. So we've got 2 kangaroo sausages. I've got carrots, zucchini, broccoli, beans, and broccolini. Carrot, zucchini, broccoli, beans. Did I already say that? And some sauce. And then I made some oats. Oh my god, they've got, that looks like a little turd, like a little shit in there. But it's this, it's like a chocolate sauce, like a low-cal chocolate sauce with oats, peanut butter, and banana. And I am so excited. So these are my 2 meals. In total comes to 528 calories for both, 42 grams of protein, 14 grams of fat, and 56 grams of carbs. So yeah, let's eat. Hello, it's me, I'm back for dinner, back. So I'm going to have, actually I forgot to show you something I had as my snack was 2 squares of chocolate. Great snack, because I pushed all my meals back late. I had 2 squares of the hazelnut pico, which is my favorite vegan chocolate. Still living my dairy-free life. Now for dinner, I'm just going to have some roast vegetables and some chicken. And then for dessert, I'm trying to decide if I want to have the egg whites or if I want to have one of the leftover donuts. Key, one of the leftover donuts. The recipe is from the Cook with Soph ebook. There's literally 1 left. So these are really good. So I leave them in the fridge. I make 6 at a time. I leave them in the fridge and then I heat it for like 20 seconds in the microwave and it's this like soft, gooey donut. So I'll either have that or the egg whites for my dessert. It's been such a mental week. I'm so tense in my shoulders. I booked a massage for Sunday. So excited. But I'm also getting my energy back, which is cool because this fun me has been like the crying me in the last YouTube where I had a meltdown. Another tip actually is I've been using CBD oil. I've heard conflicting things. Now in Australia, I have been told that you can get CBD oil without a script if it's under 3% THC, I think. And then I've also heard that you can't get it without a script. So I don't know if I've like illegally bought CBD oil, but I was told that it's not illegal by the person that sold it to me. But like, of course I was told by the person that sold it to me that it's not illegal. Anyway, I've been using it and it's really helped me with my sleep and my stress. So I feel like if I wasn't taking it, my stress would have been like 10 million times worse. But I cannot sleep if I work past 7 p.m. Like that's my cutoff. If I work any later than 7 p.m, I'm not sleeping. And I've been working till midnight most nights and I go to bed and I'm pretty wired and I'll take my CBD oil. I just do like 3 drops under my tongue and I fall asleep. And I don't have like weird anxiety or hangovers or anything like that. So I'm hooked in a non-addicted way. Okay, I'm gonna go and make my dinner and I'll show you guys what's up. All right, changed my mind, I'm gonna have pizza. So I've got these gluten-free wraps and I'm going to have chicken, zucchini, tomatoes, some olives, some tomato paste and pineapple. The annoying thing is because I'm dairy free, I've got no cheese to put on it, which is kind of like what makes the pizza. But I just kind of just felt like, I guess it's like a wrap thing, vegetable wrap thing. I'll do some barbecue sauce. So that's what I'm going to have instead. And yeah, just thought I would update you. And now I'm gonna take my makeup off. Just before I finish up this diet update and day of eating kind of YouTube, I wanted to just say a couple of things. One, I forgot to talk about my weight and my body and stuff for the update for where I got to, but I feel like it's kind of irrelevant now. But I definitely got leaner. I think my end weight was like 65, but because I'm pausing this and I'll come back to it, I'll keep doing the diet series. So I won't do like the full wrap up of how the diet went because we're kind of canceling the diet. So yeah, sorry about that, but I've just kind of, I don't really care about what the scale says. And yeah, the purpose of this wasn't to like achieve a certain number and be like, cool, I've achieved the number, now I am a good and worthy person. It's just like, I just wanted to get a bit leaner, and I got a little bit leaner, but yeah, just wasn't working for me. But I kind of, before I finish, just wanted to say, like, I know I speak a lot about dieting, and I know I share about like lower calorie foods and eating for volume and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if you are unhappy with yourself, changing your weight and your size isn't going to change that. Changing what you look like on the outside might feel great, but trust me, I have been at like 8% body fat, and I've been at like 25-30% body fat, and whilst I felt more confidence being leaner, I didn't feel more happiness. I didn't feel like I was a more worthy person or a better person or a better sister, daughter, friend, girlfriend. Like, it never changed my essence within. And I really think that that's important for you guys to understand, because it's so cool if you want to lose weight, and it's so cool when you achieve it, and it's so cool to push yourself to do things that really challenge you and push you outside of your comfort zone, because when you achieve those things and when you get through them, the strength and the lessons that come from that build upon your self-worth, and they build upon your personal integrity and growth and development. So it's not like, oh cool, I wanted to go into a dieting phase and I lost weight and now I'm cooler and better because I'm skinnier. That's not the purpose, and that's not the message I want to communicate. It's like, cool, this was really challenging. I challenged myself. I achieved a lot of things. I pushed through times that were really hard. So many times I wanted to quit and give up, but I didn't. Or sometimes I did, I overate. But I used that as progress to push me forward. Like, whatever the wins were for you along the way are the things that build your character and build your self-worth that way and your confidence that way. Like, I remember when I started out, I couldn't do one push-up. And I remember every day I did my workouts and I got stronger, and I remember being able to do one push-up on my toes, and then I was able to do 10, and I would literally just like get down on the floor, like it'd be dinner, we'd be eating dinner, I'd get down on the floor and I'd just bust out push-ups, because I was so freaking proud of myself for continuing and growing and pushing myself and getting stronger. And then that confidence became something that I took into like my everyday life, into my relationships, into my personal growth, into the confident woman that I stepped into in my job in architecture. That's what I was doing when I first started. And then the strength to leave that and go back to uni. And then, I mean, the rest is history with going back to uni and doing marketing, and then getting into a tech startup, and then leaving that and starting my Instagram and doing what I do now, which is Train with Soph, my own business. So it's just like all these little things really contribute to the person that you're becoming, but it's not because you are leaner. It's not because you are a smaller number on the scale or size of your jeans or your top. You have every single thing that you need to be the best version of yourself is already inside of you. And I find that to be so powerful, because even if you're a smaller version of yourself, all that stuff is still in there. The way you think, the way you act, who you are, your personality, your traits, your quirks, the things that make you you, they're all still inside you. They're just inside a smaller you. So why would that be any different? Anyway, I just really wanted to get that message across, because I think it's really important. This has been a very like blabbery, long, sit down chatty tube, but I feel like it was long overdue. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you give me a comment and a like, turn post notifications on so you don't miss them, and subscribe to support your girl, and tell me what content you want to see now the diet series is over. I will be showing my reverse diet, but anyway, tell me, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? All right, I'm going.